Good morning Year 1 and welcome to Wednesday's Maths. So today we're going to be carrying on with our learning from yesterday, thinking about subtraction. So as Miss James and Miss Richards have been telling you all week, our arm goes like this and we subtract. And when we subtract, what happens to our numbers? What happens to our answer if we subtract? Well done, the answer gets smaller because we're taking things away. Now we did lots of practice yesterday by crossing out, but today for our workbook learning in reception and the Year 1 book, we are going to be thinking about different methods, different ways of finding out the answer. So we're going to look at our learning question first, and we're going to think about the reception booklet. So if you've got the maths booklet that says reception on the front, we need to be listening very carefully to this part of the board, okay? To this page of the board. And our learning question is, can I subtract numbers within 10? Now we're very good at counting to 10 and we've done lots of adding within 10. So now we're going to think about subtracting. Okay, so I have got 4 different sums on my board and all of the numbers are within 10. So you should know them already. And I've got the subtraction symbol, which is like this. And we've got the equals symbol, which is what goes before our answer. So we have to read it like a sentence, but it's with numbers. So if we look at the first one together, and you've got lots of questions similar in your workbooks, we've got to think really carefully what it's saying. So let's go. It says 4 subtract 2 equals. So that's our first sum. So 4 subtract 2 equals something. Now I'm going to show you how we can do this in lots of different ways, because you need to choose which method is the best for you in your workbook. And I'm going to do this one by counting with my fingers. So how many do I need to start with? 4. And I'm going to get 4 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I need to take away 2. 1, 2. How many fingers do I have left? And you could do that at home as well. 4, take away 2 equals 2. So we need to write our answer at the end. Just like that. Thinking carefully about our number formation. Okay, so I'm going to have a think about the next question now. Still subtracting numbers, but we're going to do it in a different way. This time we've got 7 subtract 3 equals. So how many do we need to start with this time? 7. And how many are we taking away? 3. And I'm going to do this one in my head. So I'm not going to use my fingers to start with. So I'm going to put number 7 in my head. Think about the number 7. And I'm going to take away 3. So I'm going to count backwards. So I'm going to take away 3. 6, 5, 4. 4 is my answer. So that's very tricky, and I can check with my fingers like I did for the first one. So 7, take away 3 equals 4. But have a go at doing it in your head too, okay? Now for our third question, another way we can find out the answer to subtraction sums is with this. Now what do we call this? Shout it out. A number line. Well done. And you will see some of these in your workbook today. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to model how we'd like to find the answer. So, as always, what number are we starting with? 4. And I'm going to circle it on my number line. And then I need to take away 2. So I need to jump backwards. My number needs to get smaller. So I'm going to jump 1, 2. And what number have I landed on? 2. Well done. And I'm going to put my answer there. And what did I say at the very beginning? I said that when we subtract numbers, our answer needs to be smaller. So that's one way I know if I'm on the right track, and that's what you can do as well. So 4 take away 2 equals 2. And we've used a number line there to help us. And I know in your home learning pack, you have got 100 square. Just like this one. So you could use this to help you find your number and jump backwards, okay? And you can check your other ones too. And moving on to our last question, we've got some pictures and we're going to do crossing out, just like you did yesterday. We're starting with a very big number, number 10. We're going to take away, or we can say subtract, they mean the same, 8. So 10, take away 8. So we need to see how many we've got. Let's just check we've got 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I need to take away 8. So I'm going to cross 8 of them out. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many have I got left? And that's some really good mathematical language. How many are left? If I had 10 and I've taken 8 away, how many have I got left? I have got 2. Oh, I haven't quite got space for my answer there. I'm just going to pop it underneath. But I'm sure in your workbook you will have the right space for it. So that's lots of examples there of how we can subtract numbers within 10. So if you have got this booklet today, the reception level booklet, that's what your learning question is. So we're on page 13 and you've got lots of subtracting questions to do. Thinking carefully about how I've just taught you and choose which method you find the easiest. And I'd love to see a video as well of what you choose to do. Do you do it in your head? Have you used your fingers? Have you used 100 square? Or have you drawn objects and crossed them out? Okay, well done. Now, if we move on to the year 1 booklet now, okay, and we've got a similar learning question. Our learning question is, can I subtract numbers within 20? So you're thinking about bigger numbers. You're thinking about teen numbers. So you need to do a little bit further with your counting and looking at the numbers very carefully. And some of your questions are a little bit trickier, so I'm going to explain them now to you, okay? So, similar to the other slide, we've got a sum. We need to read it together. What number have we got here? 11. 11, take away 2 equals, okay? Now, I've got 11 objects, 11 stars. What do you think I'm going to do? How am I going to find out the answer to that? I can cross them out. So I've got 11 stars. I'm going to cross out 2. And how many have I got left? Count them with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So my answer is 9. Brilliant. Okay, 9. 11 take away 2 equals 9. Is my answer smaller than my first number? It is, so I know it's on the right track. Okay, moving on to the second question on the whiteboard, and you've got some questions very similar in your workbooks. And it's getting a little bit trickier now, because here we've got a sum with a missing number. And the missing number is at the beginning of the number sentence. So, thinking about what we know with a subtraction sum, we know that the first number always has to be the biggest because we are taking things away to get a smaller answer. So we know that this missing number has got to be bigger than number 11. So what we're going to do to find out the answer is we're going to rearrange this sum and we're going to do the inverse, and that means we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to do an addition sum to find the missing number. Sounds very complicated, but we're going to do it together and I think you'll really understand. So good listening and good watching. So we're going to start with number 11. We're going to start with the answer and go backwards. So we need to write 11 and then we need to do an add sign. And we need to add 5, okay? With our equal sign. So 11 add 5. We've just done the opposite to this, okay? We started with 11 and I'm adding 5 to get us to our answer, okay? Hopefully you can see that. So, thinking about how we can find the answer to this, I'm going to count forwards. So I'm going to put 11 in my head and I'm going to count 5 more. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 11 add 5 equals 16. And I'm going to write it at the end where my answer is. So I have now done the inverse sum to this, and I've got this new sum here. So what number do you think I need to put at the beginning? Well done. We need to put this number on our missing space, and I hope then we have the right sum. So let's check. 16 take away 5 equals 11. Put 16 in your head. We're going to check our working out now, and it's really important you do this at home. 16. This time, take away 5. Okay? 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Did we get it right? Yes, we did. So to find the missing number in a number sum, we've got to do the inverse. We need to add the two numbers that we've got to find out what our missing number is. If your number is bigger at the beginning than the answer, you know you're on the right track to getting it right. Okay, so well done. That's very tricky. Lots of questions for you to do with that kind of method today. Now, underneath, going on to my third question of the day, I've got number 17 and I've got number 2. What do you think we're going to do with those numbers? What are we learning today? We're learning to subtract. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these numbers into a number sum to find a subtraction answer. What number do I start with? The biggest. So I know I need 17 at the beginning. So I've used number 17. Thinking about that subtraction symbol. Take away, subtract, take away means the same. And how many am I taking away? 2 equals, then we need our answer, and our answer needs to be smaller. So again, I'm going to do 17 in my head. I find this the best method for me. 17, take away 2, 16, 15. That's my answer. 15. Okay, so 17 take away 2 equals 15. Now thinking about what we did here, that is another way we can check our answer. So if we do the inverse here, if we do 15 add 2, does that equal 17? It does, so I know it's right. So we can do the inverse to check our answers. That's really good maths. Okay, and at the bottom here for the Year 1 booklet, I've put the word subtract, I've put the difference between, and I've got the word take away. Because at the end of your page for your Year 1 booklet, you've got to do a little bit of reading. And you've got to read the question, I'll show you now. Okay, at the bottom, you've got to work out the answers to these questions. And some of the questions have take away, some of them have subtract, and some of them say the difference between. And they all mean the same thing. We are subtracting today. So you've got to read these questions carefully, look for the numbers, and apply everything we've been practicing to find the answers. So when we're subtracting, we always start with the biggest number, we take away, and our answer is smaller, okay? Lots of really good subtraction learning to do today in the Year 1 booklet. So off you go, and well done. And moving on to the Year 2 booklet. Now we're doing something different. We're not subtracting, we are carrying on with our multiplying today. Now that's a very big word, multiplication. What happens when we multiply a number? There's lots of them. We do lots of grouping. How many have we got? How many sets? How many groups? It's all about making our number bigger, okay? And we're going to explore different ways of finding out the answers today. So I've got some sheep here, and I've got 4 sheep over this side. So I'm going to group them. I'm going to group them together like that. 4 sheep in that group. And I'm going to put a circle around these sheep. Okay? I've got 4 in there, and I've got 4 in there. How many groups have I got? How many circles is there? 1, 2. So I've got 2 lots of 4 sheep. Now I'm going to write that into a sum using the multiplication symbol. So look carefully for it. Okay, so I'm going to make a sum out of these pictures. So I've got 2 groups. So I'm going to have number 2. 2 groups, 2 lots of, which is the multiplication sign. Miss Richards did that with you yesterday, like this. 2 groups, 2 lots of, 4 sheep equals. Okay, that's how we put this picture, this diagram if you like, into a multiplication sum. We've got 2 groups of 4 objects. So now we need to count how many we've got all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 lots of 4 equals 8. Okay, and that's what you're going to be asked to do in your workbooks today. You've got to look carefully at the pictures and find out what the multiplication sum is, okay? 1 group of 4, add another group of 4 because you are multiplying it, equals 8. Well done. Now another way we can do multiplication is by using a number line, and we've used these lots at school, so we're very, very confident with them now. And I'm going to show you how we can do this multiplication sum using that number line. So first thing first, we need to read the number sentence. So 4 multiplied by 3 equals something. We've got to find the answer. So what we need to do is we need to do 3 jumps 4 lots of times, okay? So 4 groups of 3 we need to do. So I'm going to do 3 jumps on my number line. 1, 2, oh, now Miss Evans has made a little mistake. Where must we always start on our number line? On 0. Right, back we go. Okay, so I'm going to put 0 here. 0 there, starting at 0. Going to do 3 jumps. 1, 2, 3. I've landed on number 3. But I need to do 4 lots of 3. So I'm going to do another 3 jumps. 1, 2, 3. What number have I landed on there? 6. So I need to do another 3 jumps. 1, 2, 3. And I've landed on number 9. So far I've done 1 lot of 3, 2 lots of 3, 3 lots of 3, but I need to do 4, so I'm going to do 1 more jump of 3, and I'm going to land on the answer. What number have I circled there? Number 12, okay? So I've done 1 lot, 2 lots, 3 lots, and 4 lots. That is quite tricky, but I've done 3 jumps 4 times. So 4 multiplied by 3 equals 12. So I'm going to write it there at the end, okay? So when we're multiplying numbers, we are doing how many times? We're thinking about groups. So we've got 3 jumps 4 amount of times, and you've got lots of questions in your workbook to practice that skill. It's very tricky, but hopefully you can use this video to help you answer them. I'll just show you really quickly what I mean. So here in your workbook, if you've got the Year 2 book, you need page 13, and there it is. So like mine on the board, you've got sheep. How many groups of sheep? Put it into a multiplication sum. Questions 2. Find the answers to these multiplication sums using your number line. So you've got to jump 7 lots twice. And then you've got 1 there, okay? Okay, moving on to question 3 in your workbooks. We've got 2 little questions and we've got to fill in the missing symbols. So what symbol are we learning today? Multiply and equals. Where does the multiplication symbol and the equal sign go in both of those questions? Once you've done question 3, I would like you to stop today, because question 4 talks about something new. It talks about division, and we don't need to worry about it just yet because we've only been doing multiplication for 3 days, and me, Miss James and Miss Richards would like to spend a little longer on it, okay? So have lots of practice in your workbook today, and then tomorrow we're going to carry on. So well done. It gets very tricky, but I'm really impressed with what you've done so far. Don't forget to ask your grown-up at home to send some photographs in and to email for some help if you are struggling. Okay, well done everybody, and we'll see you again tomorrow.